This is a part two to the follow up of the Daily Carry podcast. The episode I'm referencing is titled Drawn to Purpose Living as a Man God Intended. And I like to watch it on Spotify, but you can find it on YouTube and other platforms as well. But I wanted to talk about something Micah brought up, which is intentionality in the conversations that you have with people. So in the episode, Micah talks about how he sets alarms throughout his entire day for every meeting he's going to have. And the reason he does that is, for one, it clarifies what he's doing throughout the day. So it eliminates a lot of the extra noise that comes along with having a busy day and a busy life. But the second thing is that if he gives himself a half an hour. So like, let's say right now it's 11:48. Let's say I'm going to meet somebody at the coffee shop at 12:30. My alarm would go off in 12 minutes. And then on my way to the coffee shop, or when my alarm goes off, I'll sit there and think to myself, okay, let's be intentional with this conversation. Why are we meeting? How is this conversation going to go? What are some maybe obstacles that might come up that I can start to prepare for? But then beyond that, I can also stop and just pray to God over the conversation we're going to have, maybe the subject matter that I know I'm going into, both for myself to get out of my own way, but also maybe for the other person for something that, depending on what we're meeting about, to look over whatever they're dealing with or maybe the situation that we're meeting over. So that intentionality will both just set you up from a physical standpoint of just being physically and mentally prepared to be there, but also spiritually to make sure that a word that Mike and Jared used was to consecrate, which really just means to be set apart. So when he goes into that meeting, the person that meets with Micah is going to say, man, there's something different about him. And you might have a couple of those meetings. You might only have one meeting, but the whole point is that at the end of it, that person who you're interacting with should look at you and say, man, there's something different about that person. There was something different about that conversation. And I don't know what it was, but really, I guess the goal is that they either, one, recognize that you're different because you are a follower of Christ, or two, especially if you get to have multiple interactions with somebody, they eventually ask, like, man, you're always so happy, or you're always so level-headed. You never get mean. You never fire back or get, snappy, or whatever that looks like. Like, why is that? And that's the question that we're all waiting for, which is to say, it's because my life's in Christ. And let me tell you more about it, and then you can go from there, right? So I guess the purpose behind that is every single person that we interact with is an opportunity for evangelism. And, we need to be very intentional as we move throughout our lives, because if we're flying by the seat of our pants, then we're not going to be prepared to enter into these conversations and enter into the world as best representatives of Christ that we can be. So I love that Micah talked about that. Again, go check out the Daily Carry podcast. They release new episodes all the time. Micah and Jared are awesome men. You'll hear a lot of great themes as you listen to those, and they cover a lot of subjects. So go check them out. My challenge for myself this week is to try what Micah's doing with the alarms ahead of my appointments. So I'm going to recommend that you do that as well. After a week, hopefully I'll be able to come back and report some great things that came out of it. And I'd also love to hear your stories as well. So make sure we're reading our Bibles. Let's try this out. We'll call it the Micah strategy, and we'll see what happens. We'll see you guys.